I can't believe it's taken me this long to talk about Adventure Time. It's one of my favorite shows. Well, better late than never, as they always say. So Adventure Time aired in 2010 and quickly rose in popularity due to its fun world, entertaining writing, and a plethora of lovable, diverse characters that inhabited the land of Ooh. Like any show, there's been ups, and there have been downs. In Adventure Time's case, there have been more good episodes than bad, but I don't want to talk about the good of this show. I want to complain. I have been making positive videos non-stop, so it's about time I change that and talk about what I believe to be the worst episode of Adventure Time. Now, I thought my choice would come from very slim pickings, and I was half right. After a while, this show just got really good, so the amount of episodes that could be considered bad heavily dipped. But with the first couple seasons, you could tell they were just throwing some stuff at the wall to see what stuck. Case in point, Donnie, the monster. I'm not a fan of the Silent King personally, along with a few others, but I would argue that none of those episodes can hold a candle to my choice for the worst episode, Freak City. Freak City is the 20th episode from season 1, and I know what you're already saying. Easy, is it really fair to say this is the worst episode when it came at a time when the show was still finding an identity for itself? To which I answer, no, it's not really fair. But do I care? No, not really, because this episode is just too stupid. So Finn and Jake are walking around when a hobo approaches them, asking for food. Finn offers him a sugar cube, which prompts the hobo to reveal himself as Magic Man. This is his first time appearing in the show, actually. Magic Man responds to Finn's act of kindness by turning him into a foot, telling him there's a lesson to be learned, and disappears. Finn is understandably a little peeved, I'm sure anybody would, but Jake tells him that even though his life has been significantly altered and he'll likely never find love or enjoyment in anything, being a foot is a good thing. Jake, showing no concern for his brother, uses him to prank a monster that was minding its own business by launching Finn directly into its crotch. Finn again tells Jake he wants to get his old body back, to which Jake essentially responds with, "Pfft, shut up, it's fine," as they come across a town on fire. Finn attempts to help, but is seen as a freak by the villagers, who throw him into a ditch where he's found by a group of bridge dwellers who were also turned into body parts by Magic Man. Finn tries to lift the bridge dwellers' spirits, but they're too miserable, and Jake is no help either, as he'd rather wallow in filth than be a good brother. After a catchy tune, however, Finn gets everyone to work together and form a functional body. Magic Man shows up, gets his rear-ended handed to him, and Finn tells Magic Man that he wished he were never nice to him, which was the lesson Magic Man was trying to teach them. Having learned said lesson, Magic Man turns them back and leaves to be a prick somewhere else. After Finn and Jake have a brief conversation, we'll get to that part in a little bit, the credits roll, ending the episode in probably one of the dumbest ways a show could. Honestly, I could just end the video here. The plot is just so stupid. It's one of the worst stories I've seen be told in a cartoon, in television even. It's that bad. I seriously cannot, for the life of me, find a reason for this episode to exist. There's no point to it, no lesson, nothing to learn. At the beginning of the episode, Finn gives Magic Man the sugar cube in hopes that he'll get something nice in return, so you think that's the lesson and the reason he gets turned into a foot. Don't do nice things for selfish reasons. Nope, the lesson Magic Man wanted Finn to learn, and by extension the viewer to learn, is don't be nice because people can be jerks. What? What kind of lesson is that? Granted, Finn learns the lesson I previously mentioned, you know, be nice to be nice, but they shoot that down, so it essentially means nothing that he learned it. I don't get it. Is it supposed to be satirical? A joke on how shows feel the need to put a lesson with everything? If so, it's not funny, and just makes for horrible writing and storytelling. But you know, let's go with that. Let's go with their supposed intentions and ditch the horrible lesson. Is the rest of the episode good? Take a guess. No, it's horrible. It's just Jake being the worst person ever. He essentially attempts to gaslight Finn into believing that losing half of his motor skills, being horribly deformed, and likely will never be viewed as anything other than a freak again, is a good thing simply because he's a foot. The whole episode, Finn wants nothing more than to find Magic Man so he can get his body back. Rightfully so. And Jake just doesn't let him, and doesn't care that his brother's life is ruined. Finn thinks he's never gonna be the same again, and only after Finn getting physical with Jake does Jake actually help him out. That's another great lesson. Are the people you hold close to you not doing what you want them to do? Simple. Physically assault them and make them do it out of fear for their own safety. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my friends we're playing shirtless airsoft, and if they disagree, I will choke them out until they give in out of fear for their own life. Adventure Time told me it was okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. And the ending is horrible. Finn calls Jake out and flat out asks him, why didn't you help me? Jake says that he wanted to be a foot himself, even though he can and has stretched into one, which Finn brings to his attention. Jake responds to this by telling him it's complicated and he'll understand when he's older. What kind of logic is that? What kind of answer is that? Jake's actions in this episode would be as if I saw a good friend of mine get hit by a car, become paralyzed from the waist down, but have the chance to walk again through this miracle surgery. But I tell him, nah, you should stay crippled. It's awesome. And just wheel him around against his will the whole time he's telling me, no dude, I want to walk again. Can we please get that done? I just say, nah man, just give it a chance. I'm sure you'll like it. And only when he pulls a knife on me do I say, alright, calm down man, if that's what you really want. And I put him through all that crap for the sole purpose of wanting to be physically disabled myself. Do you see how horrible that is? That's the story. That's the episode. That's something they made and thought that was totally reasonable to put on television. Cartoon or not, that's awful. And I'm done talking about it. In conclusion, I think I've made a solid case as to why Freak City is the worst episode of Adventure Time. The only one I could see taking its spot is the one where Jake loses his powers from the witch, because it also involves Jake just being a total loser. But at least in that episode's case, Finn is concerned and actively trying to provide help for his brother. Freak City doesn't do that. Instead, it makes Jake look like the worst character, which was pretty consistent throughout the show, provides a horrible lesson, and I'm sure it's probably fueled many people's foot fetish. Thanks, Cartoon Network. You guys suck. But you know, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. So what do you think is the worst episode? Let me know down below. But with that all said, I'm Easily Easy, Jake is horrible, and I'll see you next time.